Hello everyone, today I want to show you this amazing Goodwill find. It's they're calling it a bookshelf. To me it looks like it's an entertainment center for a TV stand because it's got the little holes in the bottom where you run your wire through. But you know, either way it's not going to stay either a shelf or a entertainment center because I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to create an island for my kitchen. I got this for only $14.99. I was really surprised. See, they're calling it a brown shelf, but I went and got this. I got it yesterday, but I actually saw it on Saturday, and I left it because I wasn't sure about it. I was thinking maybe it could work out as a console table, but on Sunday I was thinking, wow, it would make such a great island. So I went back for it. I was happy they still had it, and it's in really good condition. I mean, the shelves are sturdy. It's got that nice little trim in the bottom and in the top. It's got some scuffs, but we're gonna sand all that off. See, I tried sanding it over here to see if I can get it out pretty good, and I'm kind of happy the way it turned out since I'm gonna paint it. Okay everyone, so it's day 3. I've sanded the heck out of this thing. It had a really thick coat of the lacquer, so it took a long time, but it's all sanded down and ready for painting. I've already wiped it, cleaned off all the dust, and in case you're curious, I used a 120 grit. First I used a palm sander, and then I used, you know, the paper to get to the corners, like these parts here that the sander wouldn't reach. But it was easy, it was quick. The 120 was awesome, but of course, you know, those little corners take forever. So I'm going to let it completely dry because I gave it a wipe down with a wet cloth, and hoping that all the sanding I did is enough for that coat of paint to take. So I gotta seal those 2 little holes so that way it won't show on the other side. So here we are the next day, and I've got some paint on. I have 3 coats on the outside and 1 coat on the inside. Actually I had it flipped over and the bottom part already has 2 coats, but I got another coat to add. I'm not worried about the top because no one's going to see it, so I'm not painting it. But just wanted to show you what's looking so far. I already have it in the kitchen because I needed to take measurements for the top part that we're going to put on and how much is it going to extend. So everyone, I should put that in the blooper, but anyways, I'm back again. This is, it's done. Well, 99% of it is done. I do have to pick out a paint color that I want and then add some more trimming back there. I'll show you in a bit, but this is it. It's done, and I am so happy to be done with it. It was a lot of work, but I love the way it turned out. And let me get closer. Excuse me. So, oh, Daisy's having a ball back there. So what we did was we went to Home Depot to get the wood. I felt they had, have always gone to Menards, but Home Depot had the better price, and I'm glad I found them. They had, I got 2 by 12 by 14, I think. I mean, it'll all be in the description box, but we got 2 big pieces of wood, and then we had it cut to size. And because there's an overhang, it's 4 pieces of wood, I guess. Yeah. And I knew I wanted the lines to go this way. I did see some that had them this way, but I think this way looks nicer. So what we did was, once we got it cut to size, my husband and my son used the leftover wood to practice making pocket holes by freehand. So we didn't have the machine. So they practice, and I'm so proud of them. They've never done it before, but they, you know, they did it all wholeheartedly, and it turned out so good. So they made all the holes, the pre-holes, and then they drilled in the screws. We used the regular screws, none of those keg, what is it, Craig? Keg? Whatever, the screws that goes with the machine. We use regular 1.5 inch screws, and then we put glue in between, wood glue, and then screwed it together, and then left it overnight to sit. You know, we had put like a big piece of stone on either side, and then kept to keep it together. And then to put it on this, what my husband did was he came from under here, and then I don't know if I can show you, on the top he pre-drilled some holes. I think he did about like 12 holes just going that way. Then we put glue on this part all around, and then my husband and my son came and put this on top, and then my son and I held it down while my husband screwed it on. And I mean, this is not going nowhere. It's just on there for good. So then we have the little overhang that I like a lot. It looks like it's a little bit what's the word, like it's curved a little bit. I was gonna put some sticks, you know, to some legs, but I brought them and everything. I was gonna paint them, but I didn't like the way they looked once I tested it out. And it's hanging, it's holding on pretty well. But the whole wood, when we were setting it up, was a little bit curvy. The wood itself, I think maybe because, like I said, it was a little cheaper. But once he screwed it on, this part all straightened out. But of course, this part didn't. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't bother me at all. And you know, we can sit on it. We can, you know, eat, and it's pretty sturdy. So what I did then, of course, you saw the primer from before, and then I brought, let's come on this side, these pieces of wood. I think they're what, 1x2s or 1x1s. Had it cut three ways, 3 lengths, whatever. Oh my gosh. Let me rewind. I had the wood cut in 3 pieces. There we go. And then before I glued it and nailed it on, I did go and find at Menards this paintable wallpaper. So that's why you see the lines is just us measuring where to put the screws, because the backing on this is pretty weak. So that's all going to get painted. I put these pieces of wood so that way the brackets can go on. I don't know if you can see that one, it's kind of dark in here. But I also put wood glue on this, and then my husband and I screwed the little wood nails in there, and then that's also on for good. It's not budging. So the wallpaper, the paintable wallpaper, it was on clearance for like $7. I've never worked with paintable wallpaper before. I love the different styles that came in. I was looking for the beaded one that looks like this with the little lines, but they want like $15, and I was gonna paint over it. It wasn't that serious. So I got this one. It's got like a little bit of design on it, but you can't really see it in this lighting, so that's fine. But this thing to work with is good, but then it's not so good. I mean, you soak it for like 10 minutes. I think it's like 10 seconds in water, and then you let it sit for like 10 minutes. But the longer you let it sit, the harder it is to work with. I mean, it just starts to rip like wet paper. So you have to work with it fast. But if you see, I had to do, there's like a little, I don't know if you see the line. I had to put 2 pieces because it wasn't long enough, but that's all going to be covered. What I have to do here is I want to buy some more wood to put there. I was going to leave it without, but then as I kept looking at it, it looks like it needs to be it looks unfinished. So I'm going to add that there, measure it, and then I'm going to caulk all the seams and then paint it the color I choose. I know I want it white, but there's so many whites out there that you have to really take your time and choose one that you like. So what I did for this was I sanded this wood down. I sanded it and sanded it and sanded it because I wanted to make sure that all the details came through. Then I used a stain. I think it's Old American English or Old English. I will list it in the description box. I used one coat, and the way I applied it is I use it with a brush, and then I use an old sock, and then I just, you know, it's like you're almost removing it, but you're really not, because the stain is stained, but that way you won't get those little globs of stain. You just wipe it down. So I did it once, and then I waited 24 hours to see if I liked the way they looked, and I decided I wanted one more coat, so I did the stain again, same method, and then I waited another 24 hours, and I liked the way they looked, so I left it. Also, in between, we used wood filler, and they have wood filler that actually is paintable at Menards, so that was awesome. So we used that, and then I put poly all over it, and the poly I put 4 coats. I waited 4 hours in between, and it, you know, took me 2 days to do it because, of course, you know, yeah, other things come up. But then I let it sit for like 3 days in the garage just to get solid and cure and not, you know, have little stains on. And that's how it turned out, and I think it was well done. I mean, it's not perfect, of course, it's, you know, homemade, but I like it. So I can do an updated look on it once it's all completely finished, you know, painted. But for now, this is how it looks, and we've actually used it. I love being able to be on this side, and I can prep some food without a problem. I use a cutting board, of course, because it's got the poly. You can't put food on it. But other than that, I think it looks good, and I will list, like I said, everything in the description box, and I will also do an updated look of it when it's done. But I appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.